Welcome to Thrifted Moments. Every once in a while, thrifting rewards you for taking a chance. Today, I want to share one of those moments. This bowl. I spotted it on the shelf, noticed a large bubble in the glass, thought, that's interesting, and decided to roll the dice. I didn't know what it was when I bought it, but once I got it home, things got a little bit more interesting. When I saw the bowl in the store, what really caught my eye wasn't the pattern at first. It was the glass itself. There's a fairly large bubble trapped in the glass, and that immediately made me stop. Bubbles can be a sign of age, especially with pressed glass, so that alone made me curious. I didn't know this was early American pattern glass when I bought it. I suspected it could be, and honestly, that's usually how it goes for me. When I'm thrifting, I look for clues. Bubbles, straw marks, mold seams, and texture in the pattern. I look at the weight. I look at the clarity. I look at whether the pattern feels crisp or if it feels soft and modern. And I also look for wear. But even doing all of that, I'm not always sure, and that's okay. Once I got this bowl home, I started really looking at it. It's clear glass, it's heavy, the pattern is very bold, lots of texture, stars, arches, and around the rim, there's a classic sawtooth edge. One thing I noticed right away, there are no straw marks in this piece. And honestly, that happens sometimes. Not every genuine EAPG piece has every single marker we expect. At this point, I knew enough to think this could be something, but I still didn't know what pattern, or even for sure if it was EAPG. The first thing I do when I get a piece home is head straight to the EAPG database. I start searching by motif, stars, arches, hobstar, and pretty quickly I found a match. This bowl is Fentec. Fentec is part of the famous Tech series made by McKee Glass Company. And once you start learning about the techs, realize why they're both exciting and tricky. Fentec was introduced in 1907 as part of the McKee Prescut line, which was designed to imitate expensive hand-cut crystal. These pieces were pressed, but then carefully finished so they sparkle like cut glass, without the cut glass price. The tech patterns are bold, busy, and dramatic. Fentec, in particular, uses just about every design element you can think of. Hobstars, fans, arches, blocks, all packed into one pattern. You don't need to go deep into the company history to collect EAPG, but some background does help when it comes to identification. McKee produced Prescut patterns in clear glass originally, and many of those molds were later reused by other companies after McKee changed hands. That's why Fentec and other tech patterns exist both as genuine early pieces and as later reproductions. And this is where things get interesting and challenging. One of the biggest questions with Fentec is it actually EAPG or is it a later reproduction? Here's what I look at with this bowl. It's clear glass, which is important. Original McKee Prescut was clear only. It has a small sawtoothed rim, which is associated with earlier production. It's thick and heavy. The detail is crisp, not mushy. And of course, it has a few bubbles, including the big one that first caught my eye. The Prescut mark isn't always present on Fentec pieces, especially later ones, so the absence of a mark doesn't rule anything out. This is also why identifying EAPG in the store is so hard. You can't always know. For me, the process usually looks like this. Look for physical markers while thrifting. Check the EAPG database at home. If I find a match, great. If I find almost a match, I check the EAPG Facebook group. If I find nothing, but I still suspect it might be something, I keep researching and ask for help. And sometimes, even after all that, the piece remains a mystery. I have a few pieces in my collection that I honestly may never fully identify, and I've made peace with that because I only buy pieces that I actually like. If something turns out not to be EAPG, I learn from it, but I don't regret the purchase. Collecting isn't about being right 100% of the time. Sometimes it's about trusting your eye, taking a chance, and enjoying the process. So this Fentec bowl, it started as a thrift store gamble based on one bubble in the glass and turned into a confirmed piece of early pressed glass history. And that's one of the things I love most about collecting EAPG. Sometimes you know exactly what you're buying, and sometimes you don't. Thanks for taking a chance with me and watching. If you enjoyed this little deep dive into thrift store gambling and early American pattern glass, I'd love it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. If you have thoughts on Fentec, experiences identifying EAPG, or pieces that still remain a mystery for you, feel free to share them in the comments. I always enjoy reading your stories. And if you'd like to see more thrifting finds, glass identification journeys, and collector conversations like this one, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.